Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ross here, and the next mission is called Stay Alert. On 25 February 1862, General Johnson established a base in Mississippi, and well, we have to defend this railroad junction from the Union soldiers. Now here we see the area that we're defending. It is a supply depot, and we can take 10 brigades into the battle. We do have an army of 11 though. We can see our total soldier force has 11,600 soldiers, 39 guns against 16,600 soldiers and 42 guns. Now we're into the 2 times speed, and we're going through all the battle plans about where things are coming from and what we have to do. And now I also get a chance of deciding which of the 6 brigades I get to actually choose right now I want to actually put out in the field first. So I want to obviously choose my stronger infantry. I want to have at least 1 artillery, and then I might choose some other divisions as well. So how I started this battle is actually I chose 2 of the artillery batteries, and I'm also now pre-positioning my troops and moving into defensive positions along the fence lines as well as in the forest. I'm actually going to really regret this later, I think the pre-positioned defensive positions, which offer huge cover stats to your troops and also just drastically increase their defensive capabilities. I really would have been more happy with moving these troops a little bit further out from these defensive positions and then falling back later. I'm moving Stuart up, though he got flanked by 2 other cavalry regiments, and now he's just absolutely just running for his life, and we lost over 150 guys in that flank. It was pretty devastating, and you can see they have 1, 2, 3, 4 right now on the screen at least, and we have 3, and my cavalry are definitely going to take a little beating here, but again, we kind of know how I use my cavalry, and it's not very nice to them, those damn poor little horses. You can see the Union Army is moving to my north though, and that defensive position, even though I was not very happy with it, it's really that I'm not happy with the 1 regiment being Kemper. He's a little bit too far south on the flank. I do have my infantry regiments, or not my infantry, sorry, my cavalry regiments moving in here to attack. But they are taking massive hits, and we can see we're even getting flanked from the rear here, but we're able to rout 1, but I'm about to lose 1, and it's just, I'm kind of like trading cavalry regiments left and right here. Everyone's routing, and it's really disorganized, and I'm just trying to move my general here forward just so I can kind of reorganize them, and then also move this new reinforcement Dunchain in so I can push him forward as well. But the cavalry is never going to really come near him to actually be of real use. We do have our 1 infantry regiment now in the wood line, but Bruce is too far back, and this is again where I'm really regretting about putting them so far back in defense. I kind of want them to move forward. If I did it correctly, I think what would be more effective is actually having Bruce up next to Sigfield up into the north, and then have Kemper up to the northwest, kind of in the tree line, which eventually I'm going to realize and move them into position, but that's a lot later when I realize about how devastating my troops have been attacked. So Sigfield is not going to do very well, and now I'm desperately just trying to withdraw him. And again, I'm not doing withdrawal on the right way. I'm actually just clicking on the unit and then hitting the just back button just anywhere on the map, and that is not as effective as actually using withdrawal. Now the actual withdrawal button that they actually have, which is key F, lets you withdraw and shoot at the same time, but it's a little bit slower. Again, look at the casualties I'm taking here with Sig. He's not doing so well with it, coming almost under 1,000 right now, and definitely taking a lot of casualties for being so early in the battle. And we still have 2 hours and 25 minutes of actual battle time to go. I'm trying to press their right flank, my left flank with my cavalry here, just to kind of, mess up those skirmishers, mess up the cavalry, and just kind of move them, force their move. And it did force a move. It forced MacArthur to actually charge in, but also gave a little vulnerability on my left flank where they thought they could take advantage and move their cavalry in. So I got them out of the wood line, and now I get to kind of move after those troops. But we can see I'm losing this defensive position more because I do not have Bruce up in the wood line, so I have 4 different infantry regiments firing on them. Very just not good, and I'm going to be very highly critical of myself in this battle right now because I'm actually just doing a lot of things wrong. Even though I'm going to win this, well, sorry, spoilers. It's just I'm not doing it very nicely, and I definitely could be doing this a lot more effective with less casualties than I'm doing it currently. But you have to deal with the cards that you're dealt, and then also sometimes the cards that you just deal yourself. So I'm going to move the one Kepler backwards, and I'm going to move Ewell forwards and try to take in a new defensive position. And now I'm kind of realizing what I'm doing wrong, and you can see I'm pushing up into the tree line, and now I'm securing that right kind of northern flank with Bruce. Also, I'm going to move my general up to kind of help that morale. But Sig has already taken a massive hit, losing over 500 soldiers in this battle. He's not doing very well, and I have 3 cavalry regiments here that are really not going to be doing much because I can't charge them into MacArthur sitting at 2,400. Just at that time, though, a nice little Union cavalry regiment showed itself, but also, if you do not remember, there was a nice little supply wagon that's right there, too. I'll be going after that in just a little bit. But we destroyed the cavalry regiment over there. I'm finding another one that's hiding in the woods, so I'm going to move my 3 cavalry regiments into again and hopefully destroy them on my left flank. I'm also securing that center flank there, which is definitely going to help me later in the battle, and I'm really kind of establishing a strong central line here. As we can see, Bruce is in the woods, Kemper's in center as well, with Sig kind of being weak on that left front, and then Dunshan being the new reinforcements, holding off the different Union advancements, and right now just doing overall a pretty good job. The one good thing, though, is the amount of not cavalry, but the artillery. 3 different artillery batteries are firing right now, and they are being very effective. They definitely are going to help me out, and Sig right now is sitting at 700, losing 50% of his regiment. He's not doing too good today, and I'm sorry, boys. I really am. The general just did not know what he was doing those first minutes of battle, and definitely questioned his motives and also his mission, and just questioned everything he was doing. Ewell right now just moved backwards out of the defensive position. Not very good for our boys, as the Union Army might recognize that our line is a little weak. But we're going to take advantage, though, of our cavalry being behind their enemy lines and they having a shit ton of those artillery batteries back here. And what do you do with your cavalry? Well, you charge and you sacrifice it to get rid of those guns. Getting rid of any kind of guns is just a massive benefit in my mind, and I'm definitely going to put them back here, taking these guys out as easily and fast as possible. And there's not much they can do, though, on the main line, at least in my opinion. I think they would be just absolutely devastated trying to charge into one of the regiments that's actually firing on our lines. Ewell gets a little morale destruction right there, and right as they get morale destructed and run to the rear of our lines, their Union Army is charging, and now Kemper is met with a ferocious enemy in the front, and there's not much I can do to support him other than to move Ross back to try to rally the troops. As I rallied the troops, Sig, though, broke his morale, and now he's at like 500 troops, and, well, I'm really sorry, Sig. I really am. All my fault. In a rash of trying to grab the troops, I accidentally grabbed the guns, and the batteries moved forward. Not a smart move, and then definitely a panic move on my part. More than half the battle has transpired now, and I'm moving my cavalry to get after those supply trucks. I don't really know how much the supply trucks actually benefit you after the battle, but they definitely give you supply during the battle, so any supply is good, in my opinion, as well as it takes away from the enemy supply. We are breaking the morale of these troops on our right flank, and we're pushing out our troops. We are taking some pretty heavy casualties, but we just need to push them off. Out of nowhere, this guy Marsh shows up with 1,800 troops. Don't know where he came from, but we need to get our cavalry out of there so we don't get hit by an absolutely devastating volley by these troops. But with our cavalry in the rear, those regiments are kind of concentrated on them, and it kind of gives our front lines a little bit of a break. I am really surprised though at this point that I'm actually even holding on. I made a lot of mistakes early on, and I'm trying to use cover as best as possible, moving my troops into the wood lines, definitely against more superior numbers. And I'm really surprised that Sig is still alive and is not absolutely destroyed. With losing 2/3 of his starting unit, I really am surprised that he's still even fighting, and those men definitely are getting some great experience. Well, not really, because they've lost 2/3 of their units. And with only about 30 minutes left in the in-game set timer that definitely, you know, goes a little bit faster than that time frame, this battle is coming to an end, and it really does seem that we're going to be able to hold on to this defensive point. I'm using my cavalry to charge in, and somehow just the idea of cavalry being near there makes MacArthur just absolutely panic. And look at the numbers, how fast they dwindle. The cavalry being inside a regiment that is routing is absolutely devastating. We're looking at over 200, 300 losses right there with just a couple hundred, you know, just regular cavalry in there. And the only reason I moved them back is, well, there's a lot of infantry regiments over there, and I don't want to lose my cavalry. I already lost 1 cavalry regiment. I did have 4, now I have 3, and they are expensive, and I would like to at least come out of one battle with, like, not losing them all, because they are substantially more expensive than an infantry regiment. But it is an interesting fact about how effective cavalry can be if you learn how to use them and when to use them. It's a very kind of how do you say, a tactical element. It is a very much, what am I looking for? It's a time-sensitive element. That's the correct thing. It's a time-sensitive element. It's not something that you can actually just use anytime in the battle. It's definitely depending on what is happening on the battle, how the battle plan is playing out. That's when you can use your cavalry. So set them off to your side flank, kind of just watch how the battle plays out, and then move them how you see fit. I am getting a little bit weak though. I moved Sig up there for some reason, and now I'm trying to move my troops back because I see a counterattack kind of forming here. But with a counterattack, it really doesn't matter because the battle is over. With the battle being over, let's move back to normal time. We can see they deployed 13,000. I deployed 8,000. They lost almost 5,000. I lost around 3,300. 1,300 cavalry for their side, 1,200 for mine. Damn cavalry. They lost 27 guns. I did not really lose that many. And we can see right here just absolutely getting decimated. And also poor Sig. Poor Sig. We captured goods. You can see supplies, 2,500 supplies. We rescued some, different materials. We also got some guns. It's all in all a very good haul for our battle. And we got to exchange some prisoners, and that's always good. But look at all these different units that I need to increase and reinforce and also promote. And definitely take note of your promotion. If you're going to reinforce with rookies, you might lose that promotion stat. So try to get it, if you just get promoted, reinforce with rookies just to a sliver, and then try to increase as much as you can with veterans. If you can't, I recommend numbers over abilities any day. As always, I really feel like, me personally, I spend just as much time, if not more time, kind of reinforcing my army, trying to play with the numbers to get some units as strong as possible and other units reinforced as much as possible. So we have 1, 2, 3 different infantry regiments sitting at 2,000 reinforcement level, which is awesome. 2 sitting at 1,500. Sig, I'm sorry, but he does have 2 stars next to the name because he got a lot of experience. We have 1, 2, 3 cavalry regiments, 1 sitting at 700, 2 at 400. We have 2 batteries sitting at 15 guns. 1 that is just got reinforced with the 12 pounders of Napoleon. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out if I can kind of mess with that. It really doesn't matter because there's none in the shop. I don't know why I messed with that. I'm taking away money after the other army to trying to reinforce, but it really doesn't matter because there's nothing for me to buy. And also, I put in some skirmishers, 250 skirmishers. I don't necessarily know what I'm really going to do with them. I don't know how effective they're going to be compared to just skirmishers that you detach, but they at least get a better weapon and they can fire at a greater distance. So we'll see how they play later in the game. At the end of the battle screen, you always see what you capture and then also what you rescue from the battlefield. We can see I have a shit ton of weapons here. 1,500 1841s, 2,000 Lorenz, and was it 509 1842s. So now I'm going to kind of finagle with not only the supply, but also if I'm going to recruit veterans or rookies, if I'm going to get rid of the stuff that's in the armory and buy new ones. Nonetheless, I'm going to try to, at best, get as many people onto the battlefield with the best weapon system possible. And you just really need to finagle with that. I don't necessarily know if I'm realizing that I have veterans chose here and not rookies, but I have been trying to recruit veterans only. As you can see by the experience, he does have 2 stars, and I really don't want to lose that 1 star. So it's just playing with these numbers, and I know it's a little bit loud, but you know what? It is what it is, and you're just trying to really deploy as many people into the battlefield as possible. As you can see here, all my infantry regiments now sit at strength of 2,000. My cavalry is at 500, 700, and 450 respectively. I've sold off a lot of guns. I sold off some cannons. I've changed out different generals and officers, and now I'm ready for the next battle. And the next battle is a big one. It's Shiloh. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you come back for Shiloh. It's going to be great. As always, I'm the Flying Ross, and I'll check you guys next time.